Hi, y'all. What's going on? What's going on? It's another episode of the Birdhouse Sports Show. This is Son.
This is Pops. We got some exciting stuff going on, some sad stuff with my Ravens. We're going to get to it. It's hurtful to hear, hurtful to see, but we're going to get to it and see how we can get this fixed. Oh, boy, I was hurt.
Yeah. Hey, look, y'all. We appreciate y'all giving us support. Please like and subscribe our channel. We got a little bit of a delay, but we had to come here and drop an episode for y'all because man, this was a great weekend of football, college,
Yes, it was.
NFL. It
Yes, it
it,
was.
it was amazing. And look, I hate to start this off like this, because I'm an Eagles fan. Pops is a Ravens fan. But we have to
Uh,
talk about that wild comeback of a game last night.
it shouldn't have
Oh,
happened. It shouldn't have happened. Oh, my
yes.
God. Oh, my God.
Ravens. Just to recap, man. Ravens here, 40. Buffalo Bills with a field goal win at the very last second,
A
41.
kicker right off the red eye.
It was crazy because what was it? Basically one of the biggest comebacks in NFL history, erasing a 15-point deficit with less than 4 minutes remaining in the game. The first
What
time
a
the
shame.
team accomplished that feat in, in a while. So it was it was tough. Before we get to the bad, I want to do something a little different, right? I definitely want to shout out to Lamar Jackson, who played well. He was killing it out there. And I also want to definitely want to shout out our guy, Beast Mode himself, Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry did his thing. He was basically a show horse, man. The dude get better and better with age. I don't understand. People forget about Derrick Henry's year last year because basically, he was outshouted by Saquon, but the dude is a beast. And right now, despite what happened last night, we're gonna get into the particulars. You gotta feel good about the Ravens offense. You gotta feel good. And one thing I would say, I even have like a clip specifically for him. He's doing this thing. Like you gotta just look at this right here. Just look at this right here. He's doing this thing. I mean, the dude is just a beast, a straight beast. So, like I said, outside, despite the loss and everything like that, um, you definitely got to feel good about the offense and where they're at. But at the end of the day, the identity of the Ravens has always been your defense. And you can't have Lamar Jackson, you can't have Derrick Henry put up this many points. And I get it. Derrick Henry did have the costly fumble. That's not like him. It was just a situation that, the guy did a good job kind of punching it out of there, and it was a fumble. But at the end of the day, you expect the Ravens defense to show up. Ray Lewis led basically gave the foundation of that. You expect your Ravens to do something to stop, the Bills from scoring, and they couldn't do nothing. Josh was basically throwing the ball all over the field. Guys were wide open. You got a suspect cornerback, Alexander, couldn't stop a Cole. It was just a tough game, man. It was a great game, but man, if you're a Ravens fan, sorry, Pops. Whoo! I know it was tough.
Well, I'm a chime in now because the pain is the pain. It was the first loss of the year. I didn't like the way we finished. I doggone sure like the way we started. We have to keep that intensity.
Right.
Lamar Jackson, beautiful, beautiful. You did no less than Josh Allen. I don't know why they over big and hyping him up. Yes, he came back because whatever was called on defense with the prevent defense was garbage. Why we always take away the pressure? The man had 7 seconds to throw and pick apart the defense that was sitting in the zone. And I see why, for right now, for this particular game, why they gave up Alexander, number 23. He looked like he was in a blender. You know what I mean? Turning this way, that way, this way. Couldn't tackle. couldn't catch a cold off the Bills players, off the Bills
Yeah.
wide receiver. This was ridiculous. This was ridiculous. A badly called defensive game. When your quarterback puts up 40 points, when the offense, excuse me, because don't forget the amazing line play, the offense
That
put
is
up
true.
40 points. The wide receivers dig in and get routes, catch touchdowns, and all of that. We cannot turn around and be the killer defense that we are and
Yeah.
look like we don't even know how to play Pop Warner defense. Because that prevent defense is garbage. I'm gonna say this: nice game, Josh Allen. No hate on him, because it takes a team to come back from a deficit. We sparked them, and they took the momentum, and the outcome was a kicker that they just signed came on the red eye and kicked the winning field goal. It's a sad day in Baltimore. Sad day. A
Yeah.
sad day. I'm sad. I'm disappointed. I'm very high on our production of offense, but we gotta do something getting that defense together because the Bills showed us if you play like this against anybody better than the Bills, we're gonna get the same results. We don't need the same results. We are the Ravens. Let's go. Let's go,
Yeah.
Ravens.
And,
Let's
and,
go.
and you know what? All last night reminded me is what the Ravens have been dealing with in the playoffs. You're right there. You got the team. You got the weapons. You're scoring. And then for some odd reason, the team just
Hey,
cannot
let me say
finish.
this. Let me say this then. Let that be the first and last game that we did this. The first and last game. We ended last year with this garbage. Let's keep this and throw it away. We made our first mistake. That's over with. Offense, keep pushing. Defense, get yourself together. Hamilton, you did a marvelous job. Marvelous
Yes.
job.
Yes.
Hey, Smith,
Yes.
middle linebacker, you might want to come off a couple of them donuts if you are taking donuts. We need your power, baby. You're a great
Yeah.
linebacker. Act like it. You know what I mean? You replaced 52. Act like it. You replaced 52. Act like it. No more losses like this.
Man, oh man. Yes, I agree with you. I mean, look. I mean, y'all made Josh Allen look like a legend. 33 for 46, 394, and I think I'm not mistaken, over 200 and what 40 or 30 yards all came in the fourth quarter.
But
Y'all was pretty
you
much
know
shutting
why
them down.
I can't hate because he capitalized.
He did.
If one of the things we can't do, football is football. We give up things and they capitalize. You can't hate on that. But
Right.
I damn sure say we better fix it now so we don't have to deal with it later.
Absolutely.
Go,
Absolutely.
man.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, look, because other than that, look at this. Y'all had 238 yards on the ground. Lamar was efficient, with
It was
passing.
all the way around.
Yeah.
Yes. Let's go. Come on, man. What we doing?
Hey, and shout
What
out to
we
Zay
doing?
Flowers. Shout out to Zay Flowers, who's
Come
looking
on.
really good. DeAndre Hopkins with that amazing one-handed catch. Um, man, oh
Come
man.
on.
Yeah.
Because the simple fact is, if you put it out, you got to defend it. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? We need more production. Special teams was doing good, but we need a little bit more stronger push. You're going to get out there and receive the ball, you got to push it. You got to push it. We need all three phases, not one phase and not a half a phase from special teams. All three phases going 100%. That's what we
Absolutely.
need for the ring.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now y'all need that. And look, I'm rooting for y'all. I really still think y'all the number one team. I mean, I love my Eagles. We definitely got some work to do on defense. But I think overall, man, what your offense is able to do, y'all team is unstoppable. If y'all can really get that defense lock in and to close out games, because for the most part they were decent throughout the game. But just that fourth quarter, it just everything just turned
We
around.
can't get the team's life. If the game got to go to 60 points just to win, then we got to score 60.
Right.
Then we
Right.
got to score 60. If
Right.
we got to be that type of way for the rest of the year, Lamar just go bananas for the rest of the year. Excuse me.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I'm
But
getting all choked up. But this is the NFL. And then some of them players on the Ravens, the initials of the NFL, not for long. Not for long. Get yourself together.
right.
Bananas.
Right. All right, yeah. But definitely. Hey, look, we're gonna look forward to see the Ravens play next week, and see how they progress. It's just week one. It still look good as week one. They can clean it up. It's a long season. That's how you have to look at it. It's a long season, but we're gonna go ahead and continue things here. We start off with the Ravens. It's only fair that we go to my Eagles. But before we talk about the Eagles game at home versus the Dallas Cowboys, we got to talk about the elephant in the room. Here we go. And that's Jalen Carter. I'm going to tell you something. Being an Eagles fan, I talked to my pops about this bar. Shout out to this local bar in my city where all the Eagles fans go to. It was lit. I'm excited. It's hundreds of Eagles fans in there. We having a good time eating wings. Everybody wearing the Eagles stuff. You hear the energy from the DJ is on and popping. You hear that Philly music, and then you see this dude spit on Dak, and get ejected from the game. Now, just for the right, I don't condone it, but just for those that haven't seen it, I actually do have a clip of it, so I'm gonna pull it up here, so we can just play it real quick. Let me rewind this back. So this is kind of just showing the whole timeline, right? So apparently Dak has spit. He didn't spit on Jalen, but he actually spit kind of in front of him. And then of course Jalen said that was the reason why he retaliated. So let's actually play it real quick. So you can see Dak spitting right in front of him, and then all of a sudden you basically said, "You spit at me, and then he retaliated and actually spit it on Dak's jersey, and then from there he got ejected. That was crazy. I don't even know what to say about that. At the end of the day, I still think what he did was egregious. You don't spit on a grown man. But at the end of the day, Dak can't act like he just spit on the ground and whatever. He had to get spit out. You spitting, but at the same time, you smiling. You're also provoking that same energy towards Jalen. So to me, I feel like even though Jalen's at fault, because you don't do that, at the same time, you can't suspend him because of kind of the actions that Dak did as well. How you feel about that?
I feel that in the street way he would have got his teeth knocked out. You know what I mean? But here it go. Dak was behind his lineman. His lineman didn't even turn around. Dak spit it towards him, whether it hit his cleat, whether it hit the ground or whatever. The man was enraged. He was calm, collective. That's why I know he would have hurt Dak. He would have tore them up. But he got so heated, looking calm, and just spit it on him. You know what I mean? When the man spit on you, that's prison. That's prison or graveyard. Nobody's dealing with that.
Right.
That's
exactly.
the worst of the worst. But Carter, I hope he get a fine. You know what I mean? That was wrong to spit on anybody. But where it came from, it was directly pushed from Dak. Dak, luckily, this man didn't snatch him up and try to beat him to death. And then nobody's condoning violence or anything like that. But that particular thing, from any man to another man, you spit on the man, things will happen real negatively. Because the whole situation is negative from the get. That's your saliva. That's what you keep in your mouth. You spit, you turn away from people. You don't even spit on the ground while you're in the game. There's something in your mouth, you spit it out, but you don't spit towards nobody. You know what I mean? And you don't spit on somebody. So I hope he don't get suspended. I hope he get a nice fine. I hope Dak get a fine as well and let it wash because they always see the second person and never the first person. But it's
Right.
on video. It's on
Right.
video.
And
Oh, I
I'm
don't have too much to say, but he hurt the team.
he did.
Enough, luckily enough, they pulled it together. Jalen
Oh,
Hurts was on. You
we
know what
gonna
I mean?
pull up the game. We're gonna pull up the game. We're gonna pull up the game. But just to add real quick, just looking at the latest news from NBC Sports, no Jalen Carter resolution on Monday points to no suspension. So typically, when an egregious act like that, there typically would have been a decision made on Monday. So it looks like, and we still don't know. They could make a decision tomorrow, but I would say it's probably more likely leaning towards a fine versus him actually missing a
Yeah,
game.
because calmer heads, it was
Right,
calm. He did. Dak did his part. He did his part.
right,
And when they came to him, he walked away. He didn't cause no attack to nobody. Didn't no
right.
fisticuffs, no nothing. And he got in there. He was embarrassed, and he was probably telling himself, "How did I let him pull me? I let my team down," because that was his concern when they threw the mic in his face soon as after the game was over. That was you irate or uh, you had savagery in you? Sometimes reporters act come from the zookeeper words. Like it's crazy how they come and throw the mic in your face, then ask you something ridiculous. And I'm glad he responded. I'm calm. I wasn't irate. I wasn't upset. I just was focused on what he did
Right,
towards me, and I responded. I'm not.
right.
I'm not. Because if I was acting like that, everything would have happened on the field. I was so happy with that. But at the same time, once again, people, we don't condone spitting on no human, woman,
Correct,
man, child, or anybody, even
correct.
your dog.
Exactly. Now you don't do that at all. You don't do that at all. And it did hurt us because, as you can see, even though Eagles we did win 24-20, um, it gave a boost to the Dallas Cowboys. They was actually game planning versus Jalen Carter because he's so disruptive of the middle, and they literally took
They
advantage
changed
of
the
that.
whole
They
thing.
changed the
Yep.
whole game. They were able to
Yep.
rush the ball against
Big
us. Miles Sanders had what a 50-yard run. Shout out to Bond for chasing him down. That's a linebacker chasing down a running back.
Yes, yes.
But at the end of the day, they made the Cowboys look really good. Dak looked really good out there. Um, and I'm telling you, it was a struggle. But I would tell you one thing. I learned a lot about my team because although we did win. Shout out to Jalen Carter. I mean, I'm sorry. Shout out to Jalen Hurts, who had an amazing game. He was super efficient. When the play broke down, he was able to go ahead and get a run. He tucked it, got into the end zone. He was sensational. Saquon did his thing as well. I mean, he didn't have over 100 yards rushing, but still, when he did get some yards, he was able to be effective. He did score a touchdown as well. The offense looked really solid. Unfortunately, we did lose Landon Dickerson later in the game. Hopefully, he'll be okay. He probably need like a couple of weeks just to get his body together. But we were solid. It was a solid game. We held it down. We were scoring pretty good. But the issue that we had is the same thing. The issue with the Ravens. It's our defense, man. That is not the same defense from the Super Bowl of last year. You can really see that we got some holes. Our cornerback, just like Alexander on the Ravens, man, Adoree Jackson on my Eagles was getting roasted. I mean, he was getting killed by CeeDee Lamb. He couldn't stop anything CeeDee wanted. You could see it in the TV screen. CeeDee like, yeah, feed me. This dude can't stop me. No matter what CeeDee did, he was able to get the ball. Unfortunately for Cowboys, is that later throughout the game, CeeDee had butterfingers. I think he had 4 drops that was key to them losing, and that was
Three,
really what it was.
three.
3, right? 3. He had 3 key drops that was big for them losing. And honestly, I'll be honest, if he catches those 3 passes, we lose. So we have a lot to clean up. The Eagles overall, I didn't really care for the play calling too much. Even though Jalen Hurts is going to do his thing, he's not going to make any mistakes. But I feel we got to do a better job of getting our offense involved, our receivers involved, put some trickery plays, do something. You literally didn't get the ball to Brown until the fourth quarter. That's insane. Your number one target. We're paying him 30 something million dollars. You're paying Smitty another 28, 29 million. We're paying 50 something million dollars to these receivers and we're not giving them the ball. That to me doesn't make sense. So I don't know if we can make it through another season playing the way we did last year. We have to find try to get some sort of well balanced offense. That way we could be effective and dominate throughout the season. We got the Chiefs next week. We're ready for them, but I am concerned. I really hope that we figure this out and get it cleaned up on defense as well as offense. But that's all I
Well,
got.
the way I see it, the Cowboys was lucky. They changed their game plan once Carter
Right.
got put out. Jordan Davis needed to put a little bit more effort. He made some good shots at the
He
quarterback.
almost had
The
he almost
sack,
had the sack.
yeah,
Right.
yeah, he almost sacked. But they gotta have more help because it shows your depth got to be a little bit deeper in that position because when he
Yeah.
left, the Cowboys act like they had a Christmas party to go to, and
Yeah.
they was just doing their thing. And the same reason why Sanders got off is the same reason why the team let him go because he got fumble problems. He could give you 80 yards, but once he gets to that 81st yard, he gonna fumble that
He gonna
ball.
drop the
So
ball. Right.
that's why it's called not for long, and also it's called not for long
Right.
NFL, not for long for coaches too. If you act like the coaches they had last time, not the championship coaches, the
Right.
coaches that came before that, you act like that again. And what my son chimed in on is the wide receiver play, the tight end play. If you don't act on it, you're gonna get replaced too. Because Philly ain't playing that.
Right.
Philly ain't playing that. And one of the things that I did not like, you got to show more muscle to your team when a player go down because Carter, God forbid, could have got injured and the same thing could have happened. Y'all got to be prepared for any negativity that may come your way. As far as the Cowboys, Dak looked good, but he looked good with not that much pressure on you. CeeDee Lamb looked good. They Russian looked good. Everything looked good, and all of a sudden they just everything started messing up.
And,
But that's the Cowboys.
right.
You think I'm trying to give uh a good speaking on it, but only Cowboys care about Cowboys. I
Right.
could care less about their victories than anything. So it's just sportsmanship. I ain't the people. No,
More
the
victories.
sports game later
Yeah.
for the Cowboys. Later, because y'all act like y'all don't know y'all left or right. Everything's good with y'all. Y'all do no wrong. CeeDee Lamb dropped the ball several times. It's okay, CeeDee. It's okay. I know you'll catch more than you drop. That is good and well, but we talking about the Eagles and the Cowboys. If he ain't catching in that game, that's an L, and that's what it turned out to. It's just
No.
like, and not
Absolutely.
timing back, but I'm going to speak on that. If we got to score 60 points, the Ravens, we need to do so. Cowboys, if you need to get more points to win and can't count on it, get your running game up, get your defense up so you can win over certain teams that's struggling with stopping you and all that stuff. All right, you can move on because that was enough of that.
Yeah. Oh man, oh man. But I was gonna say, other than that, Jalen was really efficient, like we said before, and like I said, we could really do things this season, but we really got to clean things up. I'm definitely looking forward to the rest of the season. Hopefully, we can definitely hold things down against the Chiefs. I am not worried about no Dallas Cowboys. That was a moral victory for them and their fans. But other than that, that was pretty much it. Um,
We took an L. An L is an L. A loss is a loss. We lost by 1 point. We actually lost by 16, but we lost by 1 point the end of the game. When you get the W and you get the L, that's what it is. It's win or lose.
right.
It's no
No,
moral victory
no in
to it.
between. Right.
No,
Absolutely.
sir,
Well,
no, sir.
tell the Cowboys fans that But just to switch it up, the actual this was so our game was Thursday night. Then we had the Friday night in Brazil, and that was the Chiefs versus the Chargers.
Mm.
This is a game I really want to talk about because I don't know. It's starting to. I think since we played the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, it's like we cracked something in the armor. You know what I mean? we
Yes,
show
sir.
we
Yes.
showed everybody how to beat them. And like I said, the Chargers. Shout out to them. They really did that. They actually put a lot of pressure in the pass and then try to rush the four up front. And that to me is the answer to take care of the Chiefs. You have to apply pressure. You got to have a strong presence up front for Mahomes, and then you got to take away those deep threats. You also got to put some zone in there, and and literally, I think this is start. I don't really think the Chiefs are that great. You really look at that team. They to me they have some talent. Oh, we can't forget they lost Worthy in the beginning of the
Yes,
freaking
they tight end, they Hall of Fame tight end took out their number one receiver
crazy.
and the crossing pattern.
I think he got Taylor Swift too much on his mind.
No,
No
well, he got
slander.
success on his mind.
Success
That's
on him.
all good.
Right,
I'm
right,
happy
right,
for the brother.
right,
He engaged now. I'm happy for the brother, but you took out your own teammate running the wrong route. I think y'all was 2 yards different. Y'all supposed to shadow each other to knock whoever man off, and then he would have picked who to throw to in that.
right, right.
But you took him out, and he had nowhere to go.
Right, exactly. And that's exactly what happened. And it was, I mean, look, shout out to the Chargers. What's the name play? Herbert was, oh man, that dude came
He
to play. He
Yeah,
came to play.
he looked real good. He looked real good. His receivers look good. The running looked good. Everything looked good. But when Chiefs messed up taking out their offensive player, it just enhanced the Chargers, and it just it didn't look like KC that we used to seeing. Number 10, what's his last name?
You talking about the running
He
back?
always Yes, yes,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah, yeah.
For the
Pacheco. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Pacheco, yeah.
Pacheco. Yeah.
Pacheco run hard.
He run
I
hard, but
like his I like his I like his style of play. He run hard. He try to make some good plays. They got some great people on the Kansas City Chiefs, but Mahomes can't do it by himself. You got to throw to somebody. I know the quarterbacks get all the credit, but Mahomes is looking around, trying to see what he could get out there. And Mahomes could get popped too. You know what I mean? I think a
yeah,
part in the game, he got a nice hit on him.
yeah,
But
yeah.
you gotta be ready. And like my son said, I think that Super Bowl weighed heavy on this year. I think it weighed heavy on this year. I think everybody that's gonna play them got that on their mind, what they saw on TV or saw in person. And I think it drives them to play that much harder. If we jump right on them, they'll
Right.
be discombobulated and they won't be the same force that they used to. I think the NFL then caught up with the Kansas City Chiefs.
I think so
Mahomes is a
too.
Hall of Fame in every which way. But I
Right.
think as far as I use it now, if he was Superman in the Super Bowl, the Eagles was his kryptonite.
Right.
And I think
Exactly.
it's over to this year. And that's all right.
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
we go.
No, but
But
I agree.
anyway,
I agree with everything you're saying. I agree with everything, and I would say this just to add to it. Pacheco. The biggest issue with the Chiefs is what we have when they don't have. They don't have a real rushing game. Now Pacheco runs hard. They also got Kareem Hunt. They got some running backs back there, but if you don't have a line that can create some holes for you, they can run through. You don't have a line that
and
can keep
they
right,
left tackle is new, and
right.
is he did a good job. He jumped off sides a couple of times, and in sports, people, I know I'm gonna get away from this for a second. In sports, stop tapping your chest. Everybody knows it's you. Millions of people are watching you. Everybody know you messed up. They're tapping your chest. My bad. We know.
Yeah. Nah, definitely. I mean, it was like I said, it was a great game. Shout out to Justin Herbert, man. Look, 25 for 34, 318, three touchdowns. He did have three sacks, but he had an 88, pretty much 89 passer rating, QBR. He definitely was on point. He looked really good. Like I said, I can't put too much stock into the Chargers. It's still early, but at the end of the day, I really want to watch throughout the season what does Kansas City actually look like, and also too, do the Chargers actually turn into something this year? I know they've been trying to rebuild this whole team and get them somewhere. We're gonna see what happens, but man, is this the end of the dynasty for the Chiefs? Is this it? We're
It
going
could be. It could be because they ran into a brick wall in
right,
the Super Bowl. I don't know if that's going to hold them back. We could be talking prematurely because they always come out on the end because he did it with less. And since he got more right now, let's hope he turn it around. We want competition. All teams want competition. When you win the Super Bowl, you want to win it going through the gauntlet of teams. And one of the gauntlets of teams is
right,
going through Kansas City. And at
right,
any time you beat them, the Thunderbolts then drop that lightning on them. They didn't
right,
they didn't hit them. So
right.
that's one part. So let's go see. Like my son said, let's see how it go in the near future.
Absolutely, absolutely. Look, it was so much going on. We're going to cover two more games for the NFL specifically. It was so much going on. I'm telling you, a lot. This game in particular shocked a lot of people. And if you know what I'm talking about, you know what we're about to talk about here. We got to talk about them
Uh,
Steelers and those Jets.
ooh,
Man,
I got something to say
I,
about that one.
Absolutely. So we have the Steelers who came into New York to play the New York Jets. Steelers won 34-32. And as we all know, Aaron Rodgers did sign to the Steelers in the offseason. His former team was the Jets, which the breakup wasn't as pretty, according to Aaron Rodgers. So kind of a revenge game for him. At the same time, you also had Justin Fields, who was also the backup QB last year on the Steelers for Russell Wilson, and he got picked up by the
And
Jets.
played marvelous.
Man, look, this was a tale of, I guess, redemption or for both quarterbacks. You actually seen Aaron Rodgers be the Aaron Rodgers of Green Bay, where he was just flawless, where he was basically, kind of like playing, saw the coverages, calling different plays at the line of scrimmage, and was just picking that defense apart. And then Justin Fields, it felt like every time he was on the field, the game slowed down for him. He was just picking the defense apart. He ran it when he had to run it. He found guys wide open. The ball was coming out with a laser dart. I mean, I was like, yo, this dude, I'm not saying he's not as fast as Lamar, but he got a talent balance similar to Lamar, or I would say kind of like Jalen Hurts, where he
He looked
has
like
the
when he was in college.
right.
He looked like when he was in college.
And he sure do. He looked like
Ohio,
Ohio State.
Ohio State. Yes,
And and
sir. Yes,
and
sir.
I'm not mistaken, the wide receiver that's on his team, Wilson, they played together. They were teammates. So just to see them
Okay.
connect was excellent. I mean, it was
Yeah.
look,
Made him
shout out to them.
comfortable.
Absolutely. What's your thought on the
But
game?
I'm gonna chime in on this and say the defense let him down. Once again,
They
another
did.
team
They
defense
did.
let them down. As far as Aaron Rodgers go, kudos to him because it was personal. Had nothing to do with the game. He just wanted to win for his soul and his spirit towards the Jets. Because his comment went, I just wanted to beat everybody that's associated with the Jets. Whether it's fans that was cheering for him last year, he didn't care from the owner, from the distribution, for whoever had on the jersey or whoever just was a fan. Aaron Rodgers was on a different thought of words, different mindset, different ability. It didn't look like he had an Achilles tear or anything. That man played some good ball. I don't know if he found the fountain of youth for this game, but he better keep it up for the rest of the season because he ain't gonna be facing the Jets defense every game. And I'm gonna give a little shout out to my brother Harold, because
Mm,
he said I told him that the Jets would win 60-40, and he told me, I believe 90-10 what the Steelers gonna win because when they sign Watt back, which they wouldn't start the season without him. So kudos to my man. I spoke to him today and congratulated him on his victory. Don't really have to say nothing, just have to look at him and smile. So kudos to you.
Absolutely, absolutely. And just like I said, shout out again. Like I said, Aaron Rodgers was 22 for 30, 244 yards, four passing touchdowns. He did suffer four sacks. Rushing wise, it was not a non-factor, so it was a lot on Aaron to get through that game. The Jets, Justin Fields, man, 16 for 22, 218, one touchdown.
Hey,
Only suffered,
awesome. Yes.
yes, one sack.
Yes.
Right here, rushing wise, man, was crazy. Brees Hall, 19 carries, 107 yards. You also had Justin Fields with 12 carries, 48 yards with two rushing TDs. I mean, Justin Fields was amazing. Definitely one of the best games I've ever seen him play. He may have found his
But
new home, to be honest.
yes, and what I'm shocked at, Glenn, that came from Detroit as the defensive coordinator. I
Right,
mean, you got to overlook what type of defense you accepted. Your offense is there. I
right.
told Justin Fields, as much as Aaron Rodgers wanted to beat the Jets, he wanted to beat the Steelers. His defense let him down. That's why it didn't get done. Now, all you got to look forward to. The Jets have some promising to look forward to because he showed flashes of greatness that he could start and he could use that to go forward and be happy with his production on the field. And it was beautiful. And his teammates is very happy with him. And you saw how it went that the defense was very frustrated on how they was just letting things happen. And I feel sorry for them. And Coach Glenn, you just got to work on that defense more. Bring some of that. You can't make them Detroit defense, but
Right.
make them your own defense so they could shut it down. And 32 points, Jets haven't put up 32 points in a long time.
Yeah, that is very true. And I know the Jets fan, like I said, no such thing as more victories. We talked about it before. But man, if you a Jets fan, watching your team do what they just did, seeing Justin Fields score 32 points in the fashion that he did it against, look, TJ Watt, Hayward, a whole bunch of studs. I mean, you got Ramsey, you got
That
a whole bunch of
offense
dudes.
played. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes,
They
sir.
It's not like they
Yes,
played
sir.
against some average talent. They played against a solid Steelers
Yes,
defense.
sir.
And the fact that he did that was flat out amazing. So shout out to Justin Fields and the Jets. Hey, and look, maybe this is a fluke game, but look, Aaron Rodgers is looking pretty good. So definitely gonna be watching him closely. Shout out to my boy who's a Steelers fan. We'll see. We'll see. I was talking junk to him during the game. But but the last game that we're going to cover for the NFL, and it was so many. We could do honorable mentions like the Dolphins who got blown out by the Colts. We could just talk about so many different games that was out there, but we just wanted to talk specifically about the big ones. And look, this one was big for a lot of reasons because, as we know, during our entire offseason, Mr. Headline Stealer Jerry Jones wants to keep his boys in the spotlight about one contract issue over another or this issue over that. And all summer was about Michael Parsons and getting his contract. And in the end, Jerry felt was compelled to just trade him to the Green Bay Packers for basically 2 first-round picks and basically a defensive tackle, which shout out to the defensive tackle. Clark was giving some punishment to my Eagles line. I got to give him that. But at the end of the day, we got to go ahead and talk about that Detroit Lions and Green Bay Packers game. Shout out to Michael Parsons. This right here, Lions lost 13 to Packers 27. The Packers was at home. The Packers showed a lot of love to Michael Parsons. If you watch the actual game, usually when the team gets introduced, all the players came in. Michael Parsons was the last one to come in. Everyone gave him all the love. It looked like he put a battery in his team's back. The fans was just lit, man. They were just so hyped for this team. And you seen it, man. On defense, they came to play. The Lions
Yes,
couldn't
yes,
do anything. I mean, even
yes.
though Michael Parsons, stats wasn't super high, He did have a sack in the game, which was great. Uh, but the biggest thing
They didn't
was
need
it didn't
his
matter the amount
spirit.
of pressure, his spirit and the
Yes.
pressure. So many times, you had, Goff was trying to step out of the pocket, step over here. He see Micah Cummins, oh shoot, now I got to step in, and then boom, another player blows it up. So his presence was felt, and everyone felt like they had to elevate their game because of Micah Parsons.
Spot on. You
Right.
spot on. Yes, indeed.
Absolutely.
Because
Absolutely.
the simple fact of what he brung, he said when it started, he wanted to leave the drama he left in Dallas.
Right.
It was something that to be professional, Jerry Jones needed to talk to his agent. Here nor there, he didn't want to do that. He wanted to do it his way because he's the big boss. Everybody don't have to play them games. These new young people don't have to sit and play this dance game with you, Jerry. Now he's in Green Bay. No more talking about Jerry in Dallas no more. That's gone. He entered his new home with the Cheeseheads, and he's gonna do great things. He showed you
Yes.
what his hunger is. He showed you what his motor is, and also offense, defense, and special teams took it up a notch just for him. This game was not this close. This game was not this close. It was 27-3 in my estimation. The 10 points came last. They just scored a couple of points, but this game was already over mentally. They shocked Detroit. Even Gibbs, he changed his number to number 0. He used to wear number 26.
Right.
He didn't even get off. He got no more than 3 to 4 yards a push. So he didn't do that good. And he caught a short pass. That was his most, I think, an 8-yard pass, a little short dump pass. But he's one of the secret best running backs in the game. And
Right.
Green Bay shut him down.
Yeah, as
What gives?
you can see right here, Gibbs only had he was 2.1 yards per carry, 19 yards for 9 carries. I mean, you had Montgomery,
Whoa,
11 carries for 25. They were 2.1 yards per carry for the entire team average.
where that come from? You know that just don't happen with Detroit. That don't happen with Detroit. So when you take away the run, they could concentrate on the pass, and didn't have time to set up in that 3 to 2 second pass window. It was
Right.
closing too quick.
And you could see the 4 sacks on Golf, and one of those was Micah Parsons. I mean, there's so much pressure. They took away the run, so they made them one dimensional. And because they were one dimensional, like you just said, I mean, they literally was tearing them apart. Now, Golf was dinking and dunking, as you can see, 31 for 39, 225. Still had a solid game despite, his team breaking down around him, his offensive line breaking down around him. But overall, Green Bay just came to play. Love was very efficient, 16 for 22, 188 with 2 passing touchdowns, a 92 quarterback rating. Now, they didn't have a whole lot on the ground, 19 carries, 66 yards, 3.5 yards per carry for Josh Jacobs. But overall, because of that defensive pressure, it just gave
Whatever.
right,
See, this is the reverse
right,
of I could score 27 instead of 40 and still win because the
right,
defense answered the call to a powerhouse offense. Well, sub powerhouse, they lost a lot of pieces, but they can answer the call to keep it 27-13. We had 40 points. Keep going back to the Ravens. We had 40 and we lost by 1 point. It's just defense take you to the championship.
yeah,
Offense
absolutely.
gets you there.
That's all it is. That's all it is. I mean, man, oh man, it was a lot going on in the NFL. I have to make one other mention here outside of that game. We're not going to cover the game in particular, but we will cover the player. The Giants have played the Commanders, and they pretty much got beaten. I think it was like what 21-6. But specifically, I just want to talk about that quarterback. Everyone knows that they did draft. They didn't draft Shador, but they did draft Jackson Dart, and he has. And I think he was a quarterback for Ole Miss, and he showed you what he can do in the offseason. Look, I think Russell Wilson is done. He hasn't done anything for you since the Seahawks. Um, every team he's went on, don't get me wrong, he went to bad teams. So that is the caveat. But every team he went on, he was just horrible. Couldn't produce anything. Even when you watch the game, he just looked like he was just throwing the ball. It was one time he just threw the ball, didn't even look where he was throwing it. He just looked so out of sync. Like the game has passed him by. I think they need to put
He
Jackson
going,
Dart in.
son. He's just going through the motions. I think he's just going through what he used to be and trying to relive it. And he's not caught up. There's no loyalty no more because he's going from team to team to team and talking about this is where I want to be. To show up to game. Oh, keep all that soap opera garbage to yourself. What is when you get on the field, they expect you to be what you was in Seahawks. You ain't got the same player. You ain't got that brother behind you. You know what I mean? The killer you had that you turned your back on. But anyway, here nor there. Let me not bring that up from the Seahawks days.
Right.
Um, you're not doing what you need to do no more, Russell. You're a cool dude. You're a good person from TV standpoint. Um, you just gotta let the young man go. I give you to the third game, and if you don't turn it around, the Giants need to go ahead and let that young boy go. And that's the same. And we're not going there, but that's the same for the Browns too. Flacco is finished.
Yeah.
Let your superstar chiming in on the Browns. Sorry to just cut over. Let your superstar Dylan Gabriel get some shine. You know what I mean? Just don't waste the whole year with Flacco because it's not the team is not vibing with him, and y'all know it. Y'all gonna lose a lot of people if y'all stick with Flacco for the rest of the year. That's just a
Yeah.
little tidbit on the
I
Browns.
no, I agree. I think they definitely need to put Dylan Gabriel in there, and if Dylan Gabriel doesn't play up the par, go ahead and push your door in there. I honestly let the young rookies get play. I don't know why they playing Joe Flacco. It doesn't make no sense. You drafted two quarterbacks. Let your two quarterbacks get out there and do their thing and prove their worth in the NFL. But to be honest, there are some rumors, and we'll probably talk about that another day, probably later in the week if it's true. But there are rumors that there have been some teams contacted the Browns to try to get Shador on their team.
And I
Uh,
pray to God it happened.
me too, me too. But we're gonna go ahead and switch things up. We got a lot to cover. This is gonna be one of our lengthy shows, but it's okay.
Woo.
Uh, we gotta go ahead and switch things up. Look, man, as you know, when we cover college football, there's one team that we're going to always cover, and that's going to be primetime Colorado Buffs, baby. Um,
Yes.
so one of the things that is funny because primetime just knows how to look at a camera and seize the moment. And now we got a new nickname for the starting for the third string quarterback. It's not his name is not Ryan Staub. It's Martin Luther Staub. Shout out to
Martin
this
Luther,
Martin Luther
he didn't
Staub.
gave him,
Yeah,
he didn't
because
he gave him the king name.
right, because basically I think it was an interview that Prime was standing right next to him, and he was talking to the reporter that the kid said, "Hey, I just had a dream." That all I needed was an opportunity and I could take advantage of it. I had a dream that this moment would happen. So Prime without skipping a beat. Oh, okay, this is Martin Luther Staub. I'm like,
Yes,
oh
Cas.
man. Hey, look, I'm gonna
Yeah.
show a quick highlight, but yes, it really happened. I know there was a lot of people that watched this game was like, "What the hell is going on?" Dion put in not only the first string quarterback, not only the second string quarterback, but he also put in the third string quarterback, and that's because Dion has a lot of expectations. He has too much talent on his team not to be winning. They clearly should have won against Georgia Tech. I really think if you had better quarterback play, they would have beat Georgia Tech. But because you had Caden Salter in there, it was his first real big game in the limelight like that. I think it just got to him. He was just too timid with throwing the ball. So he said, "Hey, Dion said this game against Delaware, against a much lesser, not as talented opponent, I'm gonna put all three out there and see what you could do." And look, shout out to Kaidon Salter. He didn't do too bad. He looked pretty decent out there, but still, he wasn't doing enough and pushing the ball down the field. And then Juju only got in there for a little bit. He didn't really do too much. But this third string, let me go ahead before we get into the
He was
statistics.
Shador backup.
He was
He was
yes,
Shador back.
yes, for 2 years, for 2 years,
Yeah.
and threw up the.
He said it's my turn.
It's my
Yes,
time. It's
sir.
my time. Right, right.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
It's my
That
turn. Yes,
that
sir.
that was tough, man. So let me go ahead and pull that up real quick.
And
I,
before you press play,
what's
before you
up?
press play, he checked his receiver and to let him know I want you to do this because I think the offensive coordinator is suspect.
Pat
I think
Shermer.
he got to get away from Pat Sherman, got to get away from what it used to be. Shador and that
Right. I
elite
agree.
unit ain't there no more. Hunter is not there no more. You got to play with what in your scheme you have, and you have to change it up a little bit. You
Right.
knew you didn't have a real running quarterback in there. You didn't have to call no running play or pass it off to the running back. You
Right.
got some killer wide receivers, and this young man answered that with his call and his
Absolutely.
throw.
Absolutely. We're about to take a look real quick. Let me go ahead and make sure this is muted. But man, just like Dad said, the fact that he's able to read the defense, and just like Shador did, if Shador see basically almost like a cover zero or cover one, but you got like a man right there, and there's nobody over the top. You know he got no safety help. Hey, it's a go route all day long, baby. And look at this play
That's
right
him.
here. Look at this beautiful throw, step into it, wide open, gone. Now that's those are the moments. Those are the moments that we got from Shador every week. Those are the moments that we got. Those are the moments that we got. Just beautiful. Just beautiful. That's what we miss. So shout out to him.
And yeah, and also I want to offer this. Um, I like the way the defense played this time, but they got to do that against higher ranked teams because you got to play a little bit more solid, a little bit just hat to hat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Shoulder to body. You got to play a little bit more aggressive. You can't wait till you play the Delawares and the smaller ranked teams to shine. But this is where you get your know-how. You're 1-1, and let's go Colorado, and let's change it around. And when the big schools come, we want the same result. The same result.
No, absolutely. And that's what Dion's trying to figure out, right? Just trying to get this team where it needs to be overall. I mean, look, to play a team like Delaware, and no shots to Delaware, right? They're still a school. They're still trying to perform. But come on, 312 yards passing. You did get the pick, but one touchdown. Overall, they didn't have too much with rushing, right? 84 yards total. So solid defense there from Colorado, but too much. You got the corners on Colorado is too fast, too talented to be giving up this much to Delaware. When you start playing the much bigger universities, the ranked teams this season, the BYUs of the world, man, they're gonna eat you alive if y'all don't clean that up. But just to go ahead and just to piggyback back what I talked about earlier, usually you don't see this three different quarterbacks here. So Ryan Staub, once again, look at this, 7 for 10, 157 yards, two TDs, a 98.9% quarterback rating. Now, Caden
Can I,
Salter,
son,
yeah,
can I
go.
say this?
What's
Sorry,
up?
son, but I want to say this. You see a head coach respecting these men as men. I'm going to challenge you. But if you can't hear my words, I'm going to show you through it all so you don't feel embarrassed about your production, or his production. Let's all do it as a team. And then you will support the man that's doing the best, right? And that's what he gave grown men to make decisions on how to perform in this game. and there's no animosity because he gave you an opportunity to perform under pressure with a lesser
Absolutely.
against a lesser team, and you have to perform. The third string came off the bench and performed. So
Right.
he's going to switch it around and he's going to offer more opportunities. And if this is the way to win going down until y'all get a fix, then this is what's going to happen. You got to take it and kill it. You just can't be playing this high school football in college. It ain't going to make it in the Big 12.
Exactly. And, got to do a better job with the run. Caden Salter, 16, 13 for 16, 102. Colorado is big West Coast, push it down the field, right? This, even though it was 131 in the ground, better job. Simeon Price, we'll see about 3.4 yards a carry. We gotta overall, man. It just got to get better. You're not going to beat the bigger teams with not putting enough yards in the ground and not having more of a spread offense and really figuring out how to get people to target. But I like the fact that this third string quarterback, Martin Luther Staub, was reading defenses, calling audibles, checking plays.
I mean, chime in number 26. He was woo.
Yeah,
He was not some look.
yeah,
Number 26 running back for Colorado.
yeah,
He was there when they went last year. He was the year, I think he a junior. And he just waited, sat back and waited, didn't complain. And Prime finally gave him an opportunity. And number 26 performed just like uh, the the first game. 29 performed. 26 was ready to play and do his thing. So I was very proud of him that he didn't let nobody hold him back and kept his confidence to push forward.
no, absolutely, absolutely. Overall, Colorado, man, we all rooting for you, right? We all want you to win. You have a huge fan base. We're prime, we all love prime time, but we're a huge fan base. We've seen a lot of you guys do your thing. Just continue to dominate, figure it out. You got all these Hall of Famers on your team, coaching you guys. Y'all gotta figure something out. But I'm gonna tell you, we'll see how things go for Colorado. They have the next game is this Friday against Houston, so hopefully we'll see which quarterback they're going to wind up starting for that game. But this last part, because I know our show is going a little bit over the normal, we're going to try to blitz through these. All right, so we definitely have some games to cover. Now, I would say one of the crazy things about this weekend was all the upsets for college football, and we're about to go ahead and start with one right now, and that's going to be USF versus Florida. USF wins 18, beat 13th ranked Florida 18 to 16, and I'm a look. Shout out to South Florida, man. They went ahead. This is their second game in a row beating a ranked team. They beat Boise, ranked number 25, first week, and then went ahead right into Florida and handled business again. They were flawless, man. The energy that they have with this team after that Boise win, they've come. They want the respect. They're tired of being looking at some small school that can't win. Nah, they like, yo, we in Florida too. We can get talent. We can get Florida talent. We can show y'all we mean business. And they handle business. They got it done. Florida is not the team of old. They're not.
Some of their players got turned down where they couldn't go to Florida. So that was the
Right.
next big thing. They didn't want to leave the
Right.
state. South
Right.
Florida picked them up. USF picked them up, and they came and they made it their business. We live in this state too. We'll show you. We ain't got to get all the recognition y'all get, but we could play better than y'all. And that's what they did to get that victory. A W is a W, and it
Right.
counts. It counts. No matter how you win, long as you win, it's respect. Florida got
Yeah.
to put themselves and say, "What's going on? Y'all look good. Y'all,
Yeah.
it should be 1-1 right now, right?"
Yeah. I believe no. They actually won their first game. So yeah. So they're one.
Yeah,
Yeah. They're
so
one
they
and one.
won
Right. 1-1. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
1-1, and they felt some kind of way, and they tried to treat him like a doorstep cleaning off their feet. And they said, nah, we cleaning off our feet at your university. We doing it to y'all when y'all thought y'all was gonna do it to us. So hats off to South Florida. South
Yeah, I mean,
Florida, that's what do to you.
absolutely. And DJ Lagway is supposed to be that guy, right? That's one of the reasons why, Florida got such a high rank at 13. A lot of the seniors, a lot of the players that return, they got a lot of talent. So you were giving them that respect. You're hearing all these great things about what Florida can do this season. And already, you lay an egg and lose to South Florida. No pun, no offense to South Florida, but Florida was supposed to handle that, and they didn't. They went ahead and executed. And hey, I think the Cinderella story. I don't know how long South Florida can keep this up, but we definitely going to be paying more and more attention to them because I mean, look, for them to win 2 ranked games back to
Right.
back, shout out to them. One of the next games we're gonna go, like I said, we're gonna try to blitz through this. The next game, this was good. I actually watched this game. This was a nail biter. Man, you got Baylor, 48, going to SMU, was ranked 17 to 45.
That's
Man,
shocking. Wow.
yeah, I mean, what was so crazy about this game was it went into overtime and literally um, SMU field goal kicker, and I believe it was the second overtime. They didn't score, so it's fourth down. Do you have no other option? Second overtime, you can kick a field goal, and their kicker missed it, man. Baylor gets it back. They get a fourth down. They didn't get to the end zone, but they kicker made it in. Game over, and they pretty much upset SMU. This game was a really, really good game, but it also shined a really, really bad light on SMU. As far as how they was last year, and as you know, they were kind of like that Cinderella team last year. They're not the same team from last year. This was kind of a beatdown from a defense perspective. I mean, they couldn't put anything up. The fact that they let Baylor score that many points, they couldn't do nothing to stop that team. Let me kind of pull this up. Baylor had what quarterback was 34 for 50, 440 yards. Now, mind you, I know it went into overtime. 4 passing touchdowns, right? Look at this. 115 yards on the ground, 2 TDs by Washington. Look at SMU. I mean, just to go back real quick, you're talking about over 600 yards of offense Baylor had. SMU had roughly, okay, just under 500, right? About 450. But that was the big difference in the game. SMU should have basically handled Baylor, but Baylor came to play. This is the same team that Prime and Colorado was able to have that nice, that miracle win at the end. Baylor is, like I said, RG3 used to play for Baylor. Baylor has a great football tradition, so you never know. They are always a sleeper, and I think SMU, they just haven't been able to reload their team. I expect them to possibly go unranked now, given this loss. But man, shout out to Baylor with the victory.
Well, once again, I'm gonna speak on the defense. This is ugly. This is ugly. We ain't playing basketball or something like that where we got to score like this. Then that means the defense is the shootout. It's the
Right,
wild wild west. Nobody's doing the necessary things, and now if you're scoring 48 to 14 to 15, that's a blowout. But when you match it touchdown for touchdown and the field goal decides the game, one miss, one gets it in, and that caused the game from going to a second overtime. We got both defensive coordinators need to think about their jobs because
right,
that's not how you're supposed to win. You're supposed to stop the other opponent from scoring, and neither defense did their job. It so happened the kicker missed
right.
and
That
could
part,
win. Other than
that
that,
part. Nah,
yeah.
that part. And the last game we're gonna go ahead and cover here. Matter of fact, there were several others, but I didn't get a chance to get to it. Honorable mention, I believe it was a miss. I'm gonna pull that game up in just a second. But another game that was really really good, just real quick, just to blitz through it, was Michigan ranked 15. They actually lost 13 to Oklahoma, ranked 18 to 24. Once again, Michigan, I know they've been dealing with a lot, given all the stuff that happened with their previous coach. Despite all of that, man, they still got a lot of talent on that team. They went ahead and tried to give it their all, but unfortunately, Oklahoma, man, they got some big, big, big boys. And I mean, just to bring it up here, you got John Mater. I know he's one of the Heisman hopes. He's definitely somebody to definitely watch. He was 21 for 34, 270 yards. He did have one pick, but one touchdown for about a 79% quarterback rating. They had about what? He definitely ran the ball a lot. That's one of the reasons why he's looked at as a Heisman hopeful. 19 carries for 74 yards. So he's a true dual threat. He also had 2 touchdowns. So he had a total of 3 touchdowns. I mean, so the guy's a beast. I mean, alone by himself, he had what? Almost about 350 yards. So Heisman hopeful, played well. Oklahoma, you know what that brings. Anytime you play for that school, this is definitely going to be a team to watch. They handle business. Michigan couldn't get anything going. Look at this, 9 for 24. This is horrible. 142 yards passing. Even in running, 19 for 125, 6.6. He was rushing the ball, but like I said, they were one-dimensional. They took away the pass, and that was kind of the big difference. Oklahoma was just really beefy up front, and they handled business.
Well, I think a lot with Michigan, what they went through from the former coach. Um, it's a lot of things going on in the school. They victories won't even count. They won't be in a bowl
Right,
game. They playing for to get recognition, to be seen by professional organizations as
right,
well as NFL, Canada football, the summer league. That's what they're playing for right now. I think a lot of people trying to hit the portal while in mid-season and see what they could get. If that's the case, I'm not sure. Excuse me, don't hold me to that. But
right,
the lack of effort that's going on with Michigan right now. They are a strong team, just as Oklahoma is. But you see, when controversy holding a dark cloud over your head and it's out in the open, it's hard to get up and play, knowing that your games won't really count. It'll count for seniors and juniors, but freshmen, all you is freshmen and sophomores, all you are is practicing for the next year. That's all I got for it because it's sad what happened to you, but y'all following grown men and grown men decisions, got caught up in some mess, and
right.
now the young men have to deal with it. It's really sad. God bless them.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. And just to do an honorable mention, Mississippi State did beat number 12 Arizona State and to clutch a 58-yard. Let me say, they clutched a 58-yard touchdown pass, basically to upset Arizona State. So that was another upset game. We didn't get a chance to cover. Ohio State is still dominating. I believe they stay as number one after having a dominated 70-0 win. You also
Oh,
got, yeah, that was another one.
chime in with Texas. Archie Manning, we know you're gonna be great one day. You're gonna be great one
Right,
day. It's in your bloodline. But the 4 touchdown passes on that bum school you just played, you should have did that against Ohio State instead of being caught deer in headlights. So kudos to your victory. Kudos to your 4 touchdowns. But listen, let's be excited when you play one of them big boys. Just as your school is a big team, play
right.
one of them big boys that you can match up with, and let's get 4 touchdowns from that. You get 4 touchdowns from that, kudos to you. Keep pushing forward. Everybody knows you're gonna be great, and hope you could show it against big teams in college.
Absolutely. And I'm going to do an honorable mention as well. 2 other teams. We're going to do one to Michael Vick, right? Norfolk State. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, who got their first victory over Virginia State. Pretty much, I believe they're a rivalry team. Basically, in-state competition. So shout out to him. I believe they won like 34-32, something like that. So shout out to Michael Vick, Norfolk State, for showing up and showing out, getting a victory versus a really good Virginia State team. And then also, we also got to talk about real quick Bill Belichick. Now, just to talk about it, his North Carolina team now, they did get blown out really bad. And in front of, they had Michael Jordan, they had Randy Moss, all type of people was in attendance. They got blown out extremely bad. But they did get a victory this past weekend against Charlotte. Now, to me, the victory, although I believe they won by like 14 points, it still was against a school that's not really, really good. So North Carolina really hasn't been tested. So we
What
gotta. What's your thought?
what are we doing here?
I don't know.
What are we doing here? Because I say to you, the man was unprepared. He gets all the benefit of the doubt. The NFL owners might have been right. He can't produce no more for the NFL, even
Right,
though he's the
right,
best Hall of Fame coach ever in the NFL, right? He get to college. You try to bring yourself down. No, you have to bring them that professionalism to get them ready. They should have been more ready. They got blown out. You should have had that blowout team you just beat by 14 points, had them for the first game instead of the blowout, the beating you took, because it looked like y'all didn't know what y'all was doing. You
right.
needed a loss to get corrected. So once again, as I say it to Texas, I'm gonna say it to North Carolina. You gotta play quality schools to really get understanding and get that rank. You know how it go. It's you're supposed to win this game. Then when somebody else come with a higher rank and potential to evenly match or overly match, let's see what you do with that. Be the underdog and get that victory. That's when you get real credit.
Absolutely, absolutely. Hey, y'all, we definitely appreciate y'all taking the time. We had an amazing time on this sports show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Please make sure y'all subscribe, like, provide comments on everything we talked about. What is your thoughts on what's going on with Colorado? What is your thoughts on the NFL games, man? Especially them Bills and the Ravens. uh,
Yes. Please subscribe, hit that like button,
absolutely.
go to the comments. Let us know what you're talking about. Let us know what you're thinking. Let us know if you have anything to say what we said and hear your response. And then we'll spend some time to chime back in with you and let you know everything you say to us do matter. So whether it's for it or against it, it don't matter. We just talking sports. All right.
Absolutely.
God bless
Absolutely.
you all. And thank you once again for joining the Birdhouse Sports Show.
Absolutely.
Go Ravens. Go
Hey,
Ravens.
peace, y'all. Go Eagles, baby. Go Birds. Go Birds all day long.
Ravens, baby. Ravens.
All right, y'all. Appreciate y'all as always. We'll see you next time.